You need to step up. So you gotta fucking man up.
I have a kid on the way. What about that isn't manning up?
Do you have a plan for how you're gonna hold this?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Pregnant, you say? Pregnant? What do you mean you're pregnant? Listen, guys, we're talking about Married at First Sight. We're dealing with Chris and dealing with Paige. Chris, as we find out from later on in the show, has got another girl pregnant, his ex, which we now confirm on the show as being true.
Kid on the way. What about that isn't manning up?
But it's not just that. It's the fact that obviously, you know, we have to talk about some real things here at the moment. I want to say this, Paige. We're not ignorant of the devices of the enemy. My friend, sometimes people send you people who really aren't for you. It's okay to get an annulment. It's okay to get an annulment. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what? Uploads. And we appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded.
Negative is the fact that I'm fresh out of an engagement a few months ago, and that's tough. That's been tough for me, man.
But let's talk about it. The case of the ex. The case of the ex. Okay, now get into relationships. We understand that people sometimes can feel a certain way about their ex. Sometimes they're having a conversation with their ex. Sometimes they're, you know, the ex can be a little bit raw for them, right? It happens once in a while, you know what I'm saying? But most people usually are done with the ex and they're fully done when they get into a new relationship. That it doesn't bother them. They don't need to speak about it, so it's tough. And when they do speak about it, it's from a place of retrospective review. Okay, but in this case with Chris, again, I'm gonna say it. I don't know if he's sabotaging or whether he's got loose lips. And you know, loose lips, they sink ships. You know what I mean? They sink ships. And so what I'm saying here is that I know the ex situation was a problem because when they were talking to the pastor, he said, listen, you know, that was a tough situation. It was difficult, you know, it was hard situation that he was going through in terms of healing from the process. And yet when he spoke to the girls, he was speaking about as if he had already healed from it. He had already got past it. But when we spoke to the pastor, you weren't healed, it seems, sir.
Last year, me and my ex, we got our names tatted on us. And I never had a chance to...
right? It seems like you weren't at your full best. So now we're in a situation where you're standing in front of your wife and you're mentioning about the fact that, you know what, you know, you've got a tattoo, and your tattoo was one of your names of your ex. Now, this is going to send alarm bells to any girl and to any guy, right? We're very much aware that COVID happened, so a lot of things couldn't be done. But he had a tattoo on him of his ex, which just got covered up a few days ago. If that doesn't send alarm bells and send you running at any speed, like Elijah's speed, you know, running past a chariot kind of speed, if that don't send you past that, bro, sorry, Paige, then I don't know what will. Because that signals to me that it's not finished. Okay, and Jesus said it is finished. So I don't understand why you're in a relationship where it is not finished. Okay, just a little bit of church humor there for you guys. So it's interesting that we're seeing the fact that he explained that he had to cover up the tattoo, and then the second question brought it back to being about the ex once more again, and he didn't have to. When she said about she has a dog, all he had to say was, oh, okay, cool, like dogs are cool, you know what I'm saying? I've been in relationships before in the past where, you know, the person's had a dog, but when he said my ex, and it was like, it sounded like the same ex that had a dog also, you know, it's the same ex that took a tattoo of your name as well, and you both got the same tattoo. So it's like you are piling on signals to this woman that, hey, I'm not over my ex. That's what you're sending. And to top it off, we're not even dating. We're married. When were you married? To top it off, we're married. So, like, to add that to the situation, it makes it even more difficult. It's like there is no exit point now. And you're telling me that you may not be over your ex. And you saw her face drop when he said it. Her face fully dropped. Fear of God entered into her. And you know, the Bible says that the fear of the Lord is wisdom. But here, when you have fear of man, is a quick death. This isn't looking good. right? And so again, remember I told you lot, yeah? I'm gonna add this in, I'll do this on another review, but I want to talk this. Remember I told you that Paige is the type to ride or to die in the sunset. And now we're gonna find out that she's saying that her vows have been tested by what? The fact that he's gonna have a kid. That's not a testing of your vows, sis. That is a go home, annulled.
You, that bitch.
My vows are definitely being tested right now.
The time has come for you to decide.
It's been annulled. Let it be annulled. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Annul it. Right? Because how can you come into a relationship as well? And he too is dangerous. How can you come onto a show that is prepared for marriage, leaving and knowing that you haven't fully healed from that from that relationship, and come onto the show? How can you do that? You're now going to put somebody else's heart at the expense of what it was, a TV deal for you, a bit of exposure for you, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you put that girl at that place? You told the same story, or should I say, you told the same story to the boys, you told the same story to the girls, and now I want to tell anybody looking at it, anybody in a relationship, it's okay to let people go. You know, it's okay to let them go when they are not ready for a relationship because they are still holding on to the past. It's okay to let them go. It's okay to say, listen, you're not over it, and do you know what? I want to give you some time, right? Like, there's a clear demarcation between being able to review a past relationship with your partner and say, hey, this is what I experienced in my past relationships, and then saying, I've got a tattoo which had just got rubbed out of my ex, who I literally just left 3 months ago, okay, who I was also engaged to. Like, it just doesn't get any worse, blood. It doesn't get any worse. And in that clip as well, bruv, he's really enjoying the engagement. So now it makes me think, are you really here for Paige, or are you here for the experience of getting married, with the hope in the back of your mind that maybe as a last resort, yeah, you might find the love of your life? Is this more for business than it is for actual love and care? And then we got to ask the question to production. Excuse me? Who doesn't do due diligence? YouTube is free, cuz. When I've gone on to audition for a dance show, these guys found videos from places I didn't even know they even had videos from. So don't tell me you can't find videos. It's a Google search. So the production here of Married at First Sight have also done her dirty, because these things were on his even Instagram. Sis, they've done you dirty. Unless you are also part of the acting as well, then that's another story. But right now, it's not looking good. You know, and so it's interesting because when she went quiet, you saw her run her tongue underneath her lips, right? And then he smiled really weirdly.
I was like, I gotta do it now, so I had to do that.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, he was like, it's all sad, and then was saying, and it's like, are you taking a mick of the situation, bro? Like, are you really trying to get girl like really annoyed right now? Like, is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to self-sabotage? Because right now that's what it looks like, right? And then she does a very interesting thing. She says the word interesting. Okay, and it's interesting because, no pun intended, because he was using the word interesting, and he said, and she was asking, why do you keep saying that word? And he says, oh, that's my word that I use, interesting. And I really believe that she was mirroring his own behavior, not even knowing. And this is why I said I'm scared for her, because if you're mirroring someone's behavior, and maybe you don't even realize you're mirroring them, you're gonna mirror everything they do. To a point. Right? You know, like how if someone is a mean person and they get with someone else and the person mirrors them and becomes a mean person, but really they're not a mean person. They're just mirroring the other person because they want to be accepted and validated. And I really hope that that is not where Paige is trying to go to, in sense of wanting validation, wanting his love, wanting affirmation, wanting words of comfort, wanting someone to desire her, over the fact that, listen, sis, right now, your situation is beyond peak, you know. And I keep saying that one of his honesty is a signal for her to cancel him out. When red flags are appearing, ladies and gentlemen, when red flags appear, they are for your benefit. When you're playing Minesweeper, you put a red flag there, it's to let you know that you don't want to place anything there because you think that will be a bomb. That's the whole game. So when we see red flags, it's to say, do not proceed. Right now, you're seeing some red flags, do not proceed.
So that it doesn't affect or infiltrate our marriage in any kind of way. Are you happy where you are right now?
I am. I'm happy. Excited.
The arrogance, the ego, the brash talking, the questions around sex, all of that is contributing towards him not being a kind of guy that you want. And to top it off with an ex that's recent. You know, when your heart, and the thing is about this is that when the heart of the individual is not closed from the previous transaction, they are bound to do what they need to do for the first few months, maybe the first few years, but after a while they're going to slip away again because the heart was never truly healed. Therefore, they're playing on their heart and trying to operate on a full level at half capacity. And eventually that heart gets tired. And if he's not cheating, he's leaving. And if he's not leaving, you're leaving because you've suffered so much. So you don't want to be in a place where someone is half-hearted. And that's why I'm saying the alarm bells are ringing when you're hearing a man say to you 3 months engagement. You know? What is that all about? You know, and obviously another friend even said obviously that what scared her most was a honeymoon baby. Forget that. It should all scare you. All of it should scare you. The fact that he just come, and she asked a question though, are you going to be cool? Obviously coming out, you know, are you cool because you just come out of a relationship, etc., etc.
Are you happy where you are right now?
I am. I'm happy. Excited. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
And again, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk too deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, but from what I've seen on the show, yeah. It's a mad thing. And it's interesting because obviously a point that she made, a point that he discussed was with the fact that, you know, he wanted to spoil her, right? And on a dance floor, he was talking about how he wants to spoil her and buy her gifts and da, right? He said to her on a dance floor that what kind of girl she is. And she said, oh, she's low maintenance. And as soon as she said that, I said, in this context, wrong information, wrong answer. This guy is going to use that against you. This guy is going to use that against you, that you're low maintenance. Because for him, he's dealing with high maintenance chicks all the time. And to get a low maintenance one that he does not even like either, it's only opening yourself up for the recipe of disaster. You know? Only opening yourself up for recipe of disaster, man. I'm so sad for her. Like, do you know what I mean? You know, when he said, and again, when she actually asked him as well about the engagement 3 months ago, he mentioned, he said, oh, do you have time? To say like it's a long one, right? And he said, obviously, I felt like I didn't have her undivided attention. And I think that really signals to me again, she wasn't emotionally available the way that I wanted her to be. I wanted her to be emotionally available to me at all times. Like the dad said, come home and she's available.
I felt like I didn't have her undivided attention. I did have my friendships, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was missing companionship.
It can't work like that. It's 2021. You know, women have to work as well, and therefore we have to be compromising in the fact that emotional safe spaces, emotional connection of intimacy, mental intimacy, physical intimacy, all these things, sexual intimacy as well, all these things come with a compromise. You know what I'm saying? It's not on your watch. But the fact he said, obviously, I felt like I didn't have her undivided attention. What did you mean? Like she was dating someone else? She was liking someone else? Is that what produced a trust in her? And why didn't she trust you? You know what I mean? That's what I want to ask that question too. What were you doing in response to that? You know? And so my thought is he unwittingly clingy? Is he unknowingly clingy to want to have this girl at his door and every single day, to have this girl at his arm every single day, to have this girl at his beck and call every single day? Is he clingy? Is he suffering again from the fact that maybe he too wants to have the girl whenever he wants to, and it can become a source of control? I want to have you and I want to have you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just throwing some things out there because it's I'm trying to assess and understand why. And he said obviously I had my friendships because I felt like I was missing companionship. Again, stressing my point about the emotional care. It's the emotional stuff. He didn't have a friend. He didn't have a lover and a friend. And he wants the friend because he needs to, because there's so much stuff that's happened to him. He needs to confess, but he needs a counselor, maybe not a friend. If you've got that much stuff you need to confess and say. And have that companionship with, it feels like to me, that's not a friend that's not a wife that you need. You need a counselor so that you don't overburn your missus, you know? Yeah, man, that was you know, matching and again, I think Paige is the type to match his expectation. So I feel like she's the type to get bent to a point where she'll say, I don't mind, you know, submitting and serving him and forgetting about herself. People please it almost in a sense, hoping that he would find out, hoping he would, you know, he would get it and actually and reply by giving you what you need because you've given him what he needs. But it doesn't work like that, sis. It doesn't work like that, sis. You know, and like I said, when he told the friends were almost spitting a drink out. You know, and so I don't know, man. What do you even say to this, man? Don't get into a relationship and it's 3 months. You understand? Like that's madness. Don't do that when you just literally broke up with a guy, and then get into another one. That's called a rebound. And we're having a marriage rebound. No, deep hit, bruv. A marriage rebound, you know. Marriage rebound. You're moving nuts. Anyway, guys, let me leave it there. Stay locked, stay loaded. More fire, more vim as well. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. More love. Like, share, subscribe, baby.